Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm Tara with Pieces of Tara Artistry. Thank you for joining me. This is Sherwin-Williams Color to Go and Anchors Away. It's going to be my base, and these are the colors I'm using. I'm using the TLP LG. This is TLP Luck and TLP Sublime. These are all brand new. This little piggy pigments. This is the Tri-Art Phthalo Turquoise in the liquid and the Tri-Art Light Phthalo Turquoise. And then this is Golden's new color, Light Phthalo Blue. So I'm going to be doing a bloom today, a bloom blowout. And so I am just adding my Anchors Away directly to my canvas right out of the can. You don't need to do anything to it. It's a really good consistency. So I made a bit of a mistake here, and I'm glad that it happened. But I'm not glad it happened, but I'm glad it happened so that I can share with you what happened. So what I did is I put my Anchors Away down on my canvas, and what I should have done is taken it completely off the edges. I did that because I'm doing a blowout and I don't want to puddle it too much, and then when I blow out, my colors roll over themselves. So that's why I do that. I added a little bit more pillow right in the center where I'm going to be blowing out. This is my cell activator. I am using the Payne's Gray by Amsterdam mixed with the Australian Floetrol. That's a 3-to-1 mix, 3 parts Australian Floetrol to 1 part paint. Now, back to the mistake that I made. When in my basement, in my studio, I have a space heater that runs pretty much all winter because I live in Wisconsin. It's really cold in my studio, so I had that running. And when this dried completely, it dried with a line around where I took the paint to that edge that it is now. And it's really frustrating when that happens, and I've had it happen before, and I thought that because I spread this out enough that I wouldn't have that issue. But I also paused a couple times even after I blew it out a little bit. You'll see I try to fix the center a little bit. So during all that time, those edges started to dry in that area because house paint dries pretty quickly. So I ended up with a line, and again, you'll see it in the final results. It's not too terribly noticeable. I might do something with texture on this, or I might just leave it. I'm just kind of deciding at the moment. But to this color combination, I love blues and greens together. And these new pigments, I was really excited to use them. And so I think I used 3 of them. I layered the algae on the bottom because I wanted to see the contrast in this painting. So layering that down low, I'm able to see that contrast against that dark background. And then another thing is you always want to layer, especially as someone new, you always want to layer no more than 2 pigments together, and then you always want to put a tube paint over top, because then you're going to get crisper cells. If you don't, you're going to get kind of cells that they kind of bleed together. So yeah, definitely take that tip. That's a tip that Shelly gives on her course, which is an excellent course, and the code to take that course is in the description box. I would definitely recommend it. The course is awesome, as well as the Facebook group. So definitely check that out. Now I'm blowing, and I started blowing on low, and I realized that was not going to move anything. So I believe my cell activator was a little bit thick, so it wasn't blowing well. So this definitely is, when you're working with a hair dryer, you really do need to practice. I didn't practice at all. I just went for it, and I started to regret that afterwards because I got into my pillow a little bit, and it wasn't my best blowout. It did turn out fine in the end, and I really do like the results. But again, you can see there's quite a bit of cell activator still sitting there. I didn't quite get it blown out well enough. So I ended up, you're going to see here in just 1 second where that big blobby cell that I did not like, I knew it was going to, if I started spinning, it was going to do weird things. So I decided I was going to get rid of it. So I just got my pipette out and I just sucked it out, and it ended up working fine. So don't think that because it's in there that you have to live with it. I know I've seen Karen Darshan from Waterfall Acrylics. I've seen her put her fingers in it to get rid of things. So definitely play around. Don't feel like you're stuck with wonky, weird cells that you don't like. Just be innovative and get rid of them. Figure out a way to get rid of them. So, okay, now I'm going to do a couple of small puffs in that black or that Payne's Gray cell activator just to get some more cells. And I'm being very ginger with it. You don't want to blow too hard because you'll blow down into the pillow. So it ended up working fine. I would rather blow with my mouth than with a straw. I see a lot of people blow with a straw, but what happens is you get like these little pocket cells like in like circles in the center, and I'm not a super fan of the way that looks personally. But if that's what you do, that's what you do. And if you like the way that looks, great. Go ahead, keep doing it. But I just personally don't like it. So let's talk about pouring medium for a minute. So the pouring medium that I am using with my paints is and it depends on the paint that I'm using. So if I'm using a pigment or a fluid paint, I add in the Valspar Deep Base C in with that, and then I use my Bear Dynasty to thicken it up a little bit, so until it makes like a 2 to 3 second trace in the cup. So I do have a video on that. It is going to be linked. I'll link it up above here, and then I'll also put it in the description box so that you guys can go and check that out, see how I mix my paints and how I get the right consistency. Because with the tube paint, I almost never add in the Bear Dynasty because that tube paint already has a thicker consistency, and the Valspar is thinner, but those two together make a great consistency. So just so you know that. And then also, if I do need to thin it down just a little bit, I'll use either like a high flow from Golden, the high flow medium, or an airbrush medium. Those are both thin, but they still have binders. And then also I'll use a GAC 100. So you can try all three of those, but use just a small amount at a time. because you don't want it to get too thin. And then see how that goes. So I'm just gonna spin this out, and the more I spin it, the less I'm loving it. Not gonna lie. It does have some cool areas, but I don't like that area right there. It is where I got into the pillow a little too much, so that it's bugging me, but I decided to keep this going. I'm just seeing where I'm at as far as paint. Did I get enough paint off? And I did. You can see that the center isn't moving. It's really not moving at all. So I'm going to show you now, get in closer. You can kind of see some of the effects here. It's kind of cool. But again, yeah, I just was not, this isn't my best blowout, but that's okay. Live and learn, guys. And I did kind of want to see how this was going to dry. So it does have some, when I get in close here, I mean, look at how cool that center looks, and those smaller cells that are kind of spidering out. I love this wispy look on the edges. I don't always have to have my cell activator go all the way out to the edges. I love that, where that layered look of the several colors you can see. So I don't hate this. I do like it. It's just there's parts that I like a lot more than others. And so now you're gonna see, here's the dry results, and you can really see what happens with that algae. It kind of goes on blue, but it kind of gives you a green, it gives a green look after it is dried out. So you can see there's the luck there's the sublime, we get the algae, and the algae you can see all the way up through all the area, even through where I got into the pillow a little bit. It's shining through. It's really, really pretty. It's probably one of my favorite pigments right now. You can see it definitely on the edge there, how shimmery it is. And you can also see that line that kind of goes around that I messed up with, and that really bugs me. But here it is dry in some different scenarios. Now you will have a chance to learn this from me at the Fluid Art Experience in Dallas, Texas. It's March 14th through the 16th. If you have not been or you don't know about it, definitely check out the website. It's fluidartexperience.com, and I will link that below, as well as the link for the rooms, a discounted room rate for all attendees. So I will link that as well. And I think that cutoff for that is the 13th of February. So definitely go and check out the website, check out this event. It's a really fun event. It's a really good time where you get to meet your favorite YouTube artists and learn from them. So check it out, and I hope to see you there. And thank you all for being here today. Have a good one.